Imagine this. A company worth $250 billion. A company that made almost every phone on planet Earth. Then one day, someone sends an email, and that single email destroys everything. This is a true story of Nokia. How one message caused panic, chaos, and the fall of a giant that seemed impossible to kill. Let's dive in. In the year 2000, Nokia was the king of mobile phones. If you had a phone, it was probably a Nokia. They sold more phones than anyone else in the world. People loved them because they were tough, reliable, and lasted forever. You could drop a Nokia phone from a building and it would still work. Nokia was so powerful that they controlled 40% of all phone sales globally. That means 4 out of every 4 phones sold were Nokia phones. The company was worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Everyone who worked there felt safe and successful. But something was happening behind closed doors that nobody knew about. In 2007, Apple launched the iPhone. Most Nokia executives weren't worried. They thought it was just a fancy toy for rich people. They believed people would always prefer Nokia's reliable phones. But inside the company, some engineers were panicking. They saw the iPhone and knew it was the future. They tried to warn the bosses. They said, "We need to change everything right now." But the top executives didn't listen. They held secret meetings and made a decision. They decided to stick with their old phone system instead of building something new. This was a huge mistake. But the employees didn't know about these secret decisions. They just kept working, thinking everything was fine. Then in 2011, everything changed. Nokia hired a new CEO from Microsoft named Stephen Elop, and he did something that shocked everyone. On February 8, 2011, the new CEO sent an email to his top managers. The email had a simple title, but the message inside was terrifying. He wrote, "We are standing on a burning platform." He said Nokia was in serious danger. He said if they didn't change immediately, the company would die. Now, you might think this sounds like good leadership, a boss being honest about problems, right? Wrong. Here's what actually happened. The email was supposed to be private, only for the top executives, but someone leaked it. The email spread to all employees within hours. Then it spread to the media. Suddenly, everyone in the world could read that Nokia's own CEO thought the company was dying. And that's when the real disaster began. The best workers started quitting and joining companies like Apple and Samsung. Outside the company, things got even worse. News headlines screamed, "Nokia admits it's dying." Customers stopped buying Nokia phones because they thought the company wouldn't exist in a few years. Store owners stopped ordering Nokia products. Investors sold their Nokia stock, causing the price to crash, all because of one email. The CEO thought his scary email would motivate people to work harder. Instead, it did the opposite. People panicked. And here's what makes it even worse. Remember those secret meetings from earlier? The executives had already made bad decisions in secret meetings. They had already chosen to stick with old technology instead of building something new. But employees didn't know about these failures. So when they got the burning platform email, they thought the problems were their fault. Workers blamed themselves. The company culture collapsed. Innovation stopped. And Nokia's competitors took advantage of every second of this chaos. After the email, Nokia's collapse happened fast. In 2007, before the iPhone, Nokia had 40% of the phone market. By 2013, they had less than 3%. Let me repeat that. The stock price fell from over $60 to under $3. In 2013, Nokia sold their entire phone business to Microsoft for just $7 billion. Remember, this was the company once worth $250 billion. They sold for $7 billion. That's like selling a mansion for the price of a small apartment. And Microsoft, well, they eventually gave up on Nokia phones too. Today, Nokia phones basically don't exist anymore. And one terrible email. So what can we learn from Nokia's disaster? First lesson, words are powerful. One email caused billions of dollars in damage. Leaders need to think carefully about how they communicate, especially during tough times. Second lesson. Secrets destroy companies. Nokia's executives made bad decisions in secret meetings. If they had been honest with employees earlier, maybe the team could have solved problems together. Third lesson. Fear kills creativity. When people are scared, they can't innovate, they can't think, they can't create new ideas. Good leaders inspire confidence, not panic. Fourth lesson. Listen to warnings. Nokia's engineers warned about the iPhone threat years before the collapse, but the bosses ignored them. If leaders had listened, Nokia might still be making phones today. Fifth lesson. Adapt or die. The world changes fast. Companies that refuse to change get left behind. Nokia thought they were too big to fail. They were wrong. A $250 billion empire destroyed by fear and one email. Nokia didn't fail because Apple made a better phone. Nokia failed because their leaders created a culture of panic instead of a culture of innovation. They made secret decisions instead of being transparent. They ignored warnings instead of adapting. And when they finally admitted the truth, they did it in the worst possible way. The story of Nokia teaches us that no company is too big to fail. Size doesn't protect you. Money doesn't protect you. Only good leadership, honest communication, and the ability to change can keep a company alive. Next time you send an important email or message at work, think about Nokia. Think about how your words might affect people. Because sometimes the biggest threats don't come from outside competitors. Sometimes they come from inside your own company, from your own words, from your own fear. Subscribe to stay curious, stay informed, and learn the lessons that schools and businesses don't teach.